about is Australia. So the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who has also issued a statement saying that he's honoured to host Prime Minister Narendra Modi on an official visit to Australia after receiving extremely warm welcome in India early this year. And Australia and India that have been sharing a commitment to a stable, secure and prosperous Indo-Pacific. Together, they also have a role in playing in supporting this vision as well. So now in his next leg of his visit, our Prime Minister, who has concluded his visit to Japan and now to Papua New Guinea after addressing the FIPIC nations, thereafter he will be leaving for Sydney, and now he is also expected there to visit and attend the meetings also with the Indian diaspora. Deepak, if you can help us understand this latest statement by the Australian Prime Minister.
Right, Amita, it's a hectic schedule of the Prime Minister, and the Australian counterpart has issued a statement welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his visit. And what we have here is the Prime Minister's statement. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese will welcome the Prime Minister of Republic of India, His Excellency Shri Narendra Modi, to Australia from 22nd to 24th May as a guest of the Australian government. But what's important here are the quotes attributable to the Prime Minister himself. Australian Prime Minister says that I am honoured to host Prime Minister Modi for an official visit to Australia after receiving an extremely warm welcome in India earlier this year. Australia and India share a commitment to a stable, secure and prosperous Indo-Pacific. Together, we have an important role to play in supporting this vision. As friends and partners, the relationship between our countries has never been closer. I look forward to celebrating Australia's vibrant Indian community with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Sydney. What we have to remember here is that Amita and Shivya, we had reports which said that there were a huge number of requests placed to the government of Australia to welcome, to host Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And earlier this year also we saw the kind of pomp and fervor in Ahmedabad, where Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Narendra Modi watched a test match together, and this visit will be all the more significant after the Quad Summit and the G7 Summit in Japan.
The relation between the two countries has been showcased time and again. But Srinjoy, coming to you, previously the Quad Summit was cancelled in Sydney, and despite that, Prime Minister Narendra Modi decided to visit Australia and hold talks with his counterpart. It clearly shows the importance of the ties between the two countries.
Undoubtedly, first of all, Australia is a member of the Quad, and the fact that the Quad Summit was cancelled in Australia is not Narendra Modi's fault, not Anthony Albanese's fault. It was because President Joe Biden of the United States had to go back to America, had to deal with the deficit. That's an economic internal problem of the United States. It has nothing to do with Australia. It has nothing to do with India. Apart from that, Australia and India, apart from being Quad partners, are also partners of Exercise Malabar, which is one of the biggest naval exercises. That also includes Japan and the United States. But India and Australia have a separate relationship, and a particularly important one. For instance, this issue about lithium. Now, it is becoming one of the most important minerals today, because if you need batteries to replace global, to ensure there is less global warming, to ensure that there is electrified cars and stuff like that, you need lithium. One of the largest producers of lithium in the world in this sector, apart from South America, is Australia. And Australia is the one country that has told India, if you want lithium,
significant engagements that are also lined up as the Prime Minister will be leaving for Sydney later in the day, I'm guessing, and I think it is around 11 a.m. when he will be leading India time to Sydney. For the moment, thank you very much, Srinjoy and Deepak. We'll keep an eye out on all the developments that are taking place.